Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to begin our program, Rachel Cobb.
All right, I'm going to have a little bit of fun here. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. 1978, a great year. Kenny Rogers dropped The Gambler, and Lee Constantine was elected to the Altamont Springs Commission for the first time. Two beautiful things happened. And I did receive the chairman's permission to do that, sort of. So I hope everyone has enjoyed their lunch and had an opportunity to collaborate and catch up. I am excited to have the honor to welcome Chairman Constantine to the stage today. Lee Constantine was elected to the Board of County Commissioners in 2012 and became the BCC chairman in 2021. He is no stranger to public service on all levels of government, as I've just mentioned, and as a public servant in the Florida House and the Florida Senate. His policy accomplishments have helped Seminole County excel as a place to raise a family and own a business, and from what we'll learn today, there are even better priorities on the horizon. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the state of the county.
She said at the table that she was going to do something fun in the introduction. Thank you, Rachel. I don't think I've ever had an introduction like that. Wow, it's great to see us all here together. You know, it's been a long time. I think all of us know that. And I wanted to thank Rachel and thank the Seminole County Chamber and all of the community-minded sponsors today. If I can take a moment of personal privilege, I have somebody in the audience that was my guest, and I asked her to come today, and I think all of you would understand that each of us have had mentors in our lives, people that matter, people that have shown us the way, people who have gotten us out of trouble. Well, this woman has done all for me. She came to Florida with her family to find a new life in the 1950s in an off-white Ford station wagon. And we moved into Bear Lake Road in Seminole County. And that's where I grew up. She was my first boss, and she's still my boss. But she also was a small business owner, and she started, and many of you don't know this, she was the co-founder of Maryland Fried Chicken. And yep, still my favorite chicken. I still love it. But my good friend, the city manager of Altamont Springs, Frank Marks, calls her affectionately the Queen of Altamont Springs. My mother, Mary Ann Lansing. Please stand up, Mom. Usually when I speak, she gets the last word. Today, she doesn't. Yes. Yeah, she got the last word. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled and honored to join you today to continue this annual practice of reporting the state of your county. There is not a single person here today who has not made sacrifices over the last year. Through this difficult time, we have seen our community meet the moment with extraordinary strength. The first responders and frontline healthcare workers who continue to care for others despite the risk it poses to their families. The teachers who have adapted to new technologies so that they may educate our youth under the most difficult circumstances. The small businesses restaurants, hotels, who have endured so much to keep hundreds of residents employed throughout the pandemic, and the more than 1,300 public servants making up Seminole County government, who have stepped into new roles and demonstrated great resiliency while coming to work every day.
COVID-19 by the numbers. The Emergency Operations Center has been open for 349 days and counting. During that time, 8 Seminole County executive orders have been signed. 60,200 calls have been answered by our Citizens Information Line, and we've had a staggering 995% increase in COVID-19 text registrants. Our response to COVID-19 began with testing 49,110 COVID-19 tests and 30-plus test sites. We also focused on personal protective equipment to start, with 238,545 ounces of hand sanitizer distributed, 868,802 masks, and 241,129 protective gowns. The largest aid program in county history, Seminole Cares, was successfully rolled out. $82.3 million in CARES dollars distributed in less than 6 months, with $12.5 million delivered to 2,604 county small businesses, $22 million distributed to 5,308 county residents in need, $2.9 million to 45 county not-for-profits, and $41 million to public safety, public service, and health initiatives. And across the county, we've been busy. 190% increase in online library card registrations, 16% increase in permits and building inspections, and since Seminole County is the natural choice, a 210% increase in visitors to our county trails. Zoom meetings? Well, we started with 0, but that sure changed. For the most important number, vaccinations. 54,000 shots administered and still counting.
Just some of our employees that I'd like to highlight. Take Kendra Black, an information services employee whose role quickly shifted to Citizens Information Line once the Emergency Operations Center activated nearly a year ago. And Victoria Colon, a member of our procurement team who managed the logistical staging area for the EOC, developing processes efficiently and to supervise high-level deliveries. And Clint Patterson, the voice of the Zoom, who ran our virtual public participation for all of our county commission meetings. And Katie McCormick, a residential horticulturist agent who developed a virtual plant clinic during the quarantine. Residents contacted extensive services, questions and photos about their gardens. Then, while volunteers worked through their homes, master gardeners would respond with solutions. The people of Seminole County should be proud of them and all the 1,300 employees that we have. I am honored to work with 4 incredibly dedicated public servants who stand ready to find solutions to the most challenging issues. Our commission is proud that Niche.com recently recognized our community as the best county to call home in Florida. At the same time, Stacker.com distinguished Seminole County as the best county in Florida to raise a family. And, interesting enough, during this pandemic, the Orlando Business Journal named Seminole County the best work-from-home county in the region. Your commissioners, Bob Delory, Andrea Herr, Amy Lockhart, and Jay Zimbauer, please stand to be recognized. Through the pandemic, the county has worked closely with our 7 unique cities to collaborate a holistic approach to manage COVID-19 countywide. The cities of Altamont Springs, Castleberry, Lake Mary, Longwood, Oviedo, Sanford, and Winter Springs have been our partners every step of the way. Will the leaders of our 7 cities, the mayors, commissioners, council members, and city managers, please stand and be recognized? And our constitutional officers, who have been great partners as we continue to navigate this pandemic, from managing record numbers of mail-in ballots, fluctuating property values, wellness checks for quarantined individuals, and distributing millions in CARES Act checks. These leaders and their teams demonstrated exceptional commitment to our residents. Supervisor of Elections Chris Anderson, Property Appraiser David Johnson, Sheriff Dennis Lima, Clerk of the Court and Comptroller Grant Malloy, and our newly elected Tax Collector J.R. Kroll, please stand and be recognized. Also, in partnership with the county and Advent Health, the Sheriff's Office is preparing to launch an Advent Health Hope and Healing Center, a recovery center designed to provide clinically supported residential substance abuse treatment. The first of its kind in Florida, this public-private partnership will be one-step shop for those seeking help in a safe environment. We look forward to the opening of this innovative program in the spring. While most if not all, of our state representatives and federal representatives could not join us today, we have the fortunate to work with them hand in hand over the last year. We recognize and appreciate their service. COVID-19 struck this nation 3/4 of the way into our fiscal year and significantly upended the way we do business. The pandemic required our most extensive emergency management response to date. The county declared a local state of emergency on March 2nd, 2020, and fully activated our Emergency Operations Center 11 days later. Today is day 349. In the initial weeks of the pandemic, our team coordinated the distribution of scarce PPE to first responders, frontline workers, and our local businesses. Let's take a look at a small sample of this undertaking.
We got 7 drivers going out to 77 different facilities.
Boxes upon boxes loaded with over 67,000 procedural masks inside.
They're all in order. Central Park, which should be in the front, and then Brookdale Altamont's right here.
Same facility, but different locations.
The deliveries going all across Seminole County.
We've map-quested each of the facilities that you're going to be going, and they're in order. You got your address on here, and most importantly, your facility contact. Don't leave there without giving them their stuff.
77 nursing homes and assisted living facilities serviced in one day.
So this is the biggest push of stuff that we've done out of the Bay here to date.
It's a lot.
Overall, since March, more than 215,000 masks have been delivered.
So everybody's all loaded up. You all have your sheets here, right?
And away they go.
So our first stop is going to be at an assisted living facility in Sanford.
Your destination is on the right.
Hi, my name is Justin with Seminole County Emergency Management. How are you today? I'm here to drop off the procedural masks for your facility. 1 down, 12 more to go.
Like many of your businesses, Seminole County Services could not simply stop due to the quarantine. We began changing our operations literally overnight. We had to find alternative ways to engage with our citizens. Virtual inspections were launched by our building division. Online citizen engagement platforms were introduced by our leisure services department. Staff utilizes remote kiosks, drop boxes, curbside assistance, and of course, many, many, many Zoom meetings. The budget development for the fiscal year 21-22 was well underway when COVID hit like a lightning bolt. Nearly $14 million in initial expenses had to be eliminated from our general fund budget, including freezing existing positions and suspending new position requests, reducing funds and fleet facilities, postponing several large parks, natural lands, libraries, and animal services and technology projects, and reducing road, traffic, facilities, information services, and leisure services budgets. Excluding the sheriff's office and the fire employees, salary increases were also deferred for all county employees. Despite these challenges, the county still maintains the lowest tax rate, the highest percentage of reserves, and the lowest ratio of employees to citizens in the region. And arguably, the best services. And just this week at our mid-year review, our staff presented us, through their efficiency, an additional $10 million surplus. On June 29th, the county issued an executive order requiring the use of facial coverings and social distancing. Residents began visiting our social media platforms in droves. Our Facebook audience increased by 60%, and in less than 20 days, nearly 40,000 residents registered for our COVID-19 text messages. Dozens of organizations partnered with Seminole County to set up test sites, providing wellness checks and delivering quarantine care kits. Food banks, area not-for-profits, and small businesses played a key role in our response efforts. And, of course, our most critical partners have been those in the healthcare community. Let's hear more about the healthcare from our new District 5 Commissioner, Andrea Herr.
Many of you have visited the Seminole County Services Building before, but what you may not realize is that this was one of the first hospitals in Seminole County. In fact, in 1956, it was dedicated as the third hospital, and it welcomed its 5 first patients, all of which were babies. And even though this hospital closed over 40 years ago, we are blessed to have some of the finest health care in the country right here in Seminole County. Healthcare is our region's largest industry and the largest private employer and the 3rd largest overall employer in Seminole County. Home to 4 full-service hospitals offering a combined 900 patient beds, as well as 3 new acute care facilities just down the road, our county continues to be the recipient of significant investment in this critical quality of life element. The partnership between Seminole County government, Florida Department of Health, Seminole, True Health, and Allied Health has been instrumental in meeting the demands of the COVID-19 response. These organizations and their frontline team members partnered with the county on the administration of over 70,000 COVID-19 tests and more than 30,000 vaccines thus far. Not to mention the development of hundreds of policies, guidelines, and messages to keep our residents safe and healthy during the pandemic. Public health is a team sport. Let us all applaud our Emergency Operations Center team, Florida Department of Health Seminole, and our local healthcare workforce in their tireless battle against COVID-19, one that has been ongoing for nearly a year. We each play a critical role in the health of our community, and I'm going to issue you a challenge today. If you've put off your health screenings because of COVID, or just because, I ask that you re-engage and take care of yourself. So if you have a mammogram that's overdue or a colonoscopy that's overdue, step it up, make the appointment, and take care of yourself. And I'm also going to ask you to improve your lifestyle choices. Just one easy thing, pick it, whether it's more water, moving around more, or eating a little less candy, and we all know who I'm talking to. I ask that you engage. Thank you, and take care of your health.
Did you know that Seminole County was the first county in Florida to receive and distribute the COVID-19 vaccine? Since the first shot, we have been committed to delivering this life-saving vaccine as quickly as we can. But like everything associated with COVID-19, the effort is not simple. On December 22nd, the county and the Florida Department of Health received a state directive asking that the vaccination site had to be up and running on December 28th. That gave us 5 days, which included Christmas Eve, to open a vaccination site at the Oviedo Mall and a community mobile unit. The board is proud that as of today, well over 50,000 individuals have been vaccinated at our sites in Seminole County. 31 local communities, many of them low income and transportation disadvantaged, have been visited by our mobile unit. But with more than 75,000 residents age 65 and above, we have just begun. Our staff is prepared to give thousands of shots to our citizens. We just need more vaccine. Like you, Seminole County is ready to get through this critical final chapter in this pandemic. They say not all superheroes wear capes, and that's certainly true in our case. Thank you, Emergency Operations Director Alan Harris, Florida Department of Health Officer Donna Walsh, and Medical Director Dr. Todd Husky for you and your team's tireless efforts over the last year. Donna, please stand to be recognized. Unfortunately, Dr. Husky could not join us today, and Alan could not break away from the vaccine site. He is watching on Zoom. Thank you, Dr. Husky, and all of us want to say thank you, Alan Harris, our hero. Last March, the Federal CARES Act was signed into law. Through this legislation, the state of Florida received $8.3 billion in CARES funding, $82.3 million of which was allocated to Seminole County. But per the guidelines, only those counties with populations exceeding 500,000 received direct disbursement of CARES funds from the federal government. That came to 12 of Florida's 67 counties. The remaining 55 counties, Seminole being the largest, had to wait to receive CARES funds through the state of Florida 3 months later. Seminole County residents and businesses had to wait to receive relief simply due to population. We missed the mark by less than 30,000 residents. That's why I hope you all completed your U.S. Census questionnaire. By the way, Seminole County ranked #1 among the Florida counties in resident self-response. Congratulations. Since the county did not receive the initial CARES Act and we were not going to let our people suffer, the county budget had to carry the initial financial burden. When we did receive the funds, our staff had only 6 months with no previous infrastructure to develop a spending plan, implement grant programs, and distribute the money to those that needed it most. Seminole Cares is the largest aid effort in this county's history. It includes a launch of 2 massive grant programs. $12.5 million have been awarded to small businesses, and $22 million have been dispersed to needy county residents for rent, mortgage, utility relief, and food. Over the course of these 2 programs, more than 11,000 applications were reviewed, 140,000 supporting documents were analyzed, 34,000 applicant phone calls were answered, and 136,000 applicant emails were received. And more than 30,000 hours were dedicated by our county staff. In addition to these initiatives, 45 not-for-profit agencies received $2.9 million in CARES dollars to purchase PPE, remote technology equipment, and other supplies necessary to mitigate the spread of this virus. Also, the county administered $41 million to fund public safety, services, and health efforts, including COVID-19 testing, vaccine administration, and social distancing tools. We also partnered with Seminole State College and the local hospitality industry to stimulate workforce training and tourism. Some of Seminole County's most popular attractions last year were our natural ones. In order to encourage our residents to safely visit our parks, trails, and natural lands, the county used some of our CARES dollars on social distancing measures. District 2 Commissioner Jay Zimbauer will now tell us more about these county treasures.
Hi, Jay Zimbauer, Seminole County District 2 Commissioner. Today we're out showcasing some of the rural areas and aspects of my district here in District Number 2. We're here at Waterford Eventing today, watching the girls enjoy the equestrian life. One of the grand things that we enjoy in the rural area that many people don't get the opportunity to enjoy. And as you can see, the activities that are going on around us, there's a lot of this that happens in the equestrian parts of the rural area. It's such a grand thing, whether you want to see the cities in our county or come out to a country-type lifestyle. We have it all. Seminole County's award-winning trail system is made up of 4 showcase trails: the paved Seminole-Wekiva Trail, the Cross Seminole Trail, the Kewanee Trails, and the Flagler Trail. Our natural land program was established by a voter-approved referendum in 1990. As a result, the county now owns more than 6,600 acres of preserved land, which includes 8 wilderness areas and 1 preserve that are open to the public. Seminole is also home to 20 named parks. Throughout the pandemic, our trails, parks, and wilderness areas have remained open to the public. As a way to get a break from quarantine, many of our residents chose to spend their time in the outdoors last year. As a result, visits to our natural lands increased by 690%, and use of our trail system increased by 210%. To help meet our county's need for social distancing, we are expanding our Black Bear Wilderness Area parking lot, installing touchless water fountains and bathroom fixtures in many of our parks, and adding additional benches and shade structures. In response to the need for additional trail connectivity in the urban, suburban, and rural areas, the county launched the Trails Master Plan update last year. In a new way to gather public input during COVID, an interactive online platform was developed which allowed for online video presentation, a preference and needs survey, and an interactive countywide map allowing citizens to place comments, observations, and questions directly on their area of concern. Cultivating the public input will allow completion of the Trails Master Plan within the coming fiscal year. So come out and enjoy our parks, our fabulous trails, and our great wilderness areas.
I hope you got that 690% increase in visitors to our wilderness areas. Wow, that shows how important they are, especially now. The Herculean effort required to implement the CARES Act initiative would not have been possible without the involvement of hundreds of county employees. Staff managed the unprecedented task of quickly distributing millions in relief while navigating the constantly changing federal and state guidelines that complicated the process. Now, I've mentioned how important our partners have been in overcoming the challenges of last year. An ongoing partnership that has contributed to the great success of this county for decades is the one with our school board. Seminole County Public Schools once again have made us proud. Our SAT scores continue to be above the state and national average for the 43rd consecutive year. Last year, we broke ground on a new career and technical education building at my alma mater, Lyman High School. And recently, we began construction on a new Castleberry Elementary campus. Let's hear more about the value of our education partners from our District 4 Commissioner, Amy Lockhart.
Commissioner Amy Lockhart. This is the Rosenwald School, which first opened its doors in 1932 and served the historic Wynwood, East Altamont area for nearly 80 years. After purchasing this property in 2019 from the school board, Seminole County has embarked on a strategic master planning effort to redevelop this historic site. The plan will address a wide range of needs that can strengthen this community and serve as a catalyst for development, while at the same time preserving the identity and character that this neighborhood values. Seminole County enjoys a long collaborative history with our education partners. With more than 67,000 students, Seminole County Public Schools continues to be an A-rated premier national school district. SCPS has the 4th highest graduation rate of all Florida school districts. In fact, their 2019-20 graduation rate of 94.5% is the highest ever achieved for the school district. As demand for the COVID-19 tests increased, SCPS partnered with our emergency management team to provide space for outdoor testing sites at 11 schools over the course of several months. Now, school nurses have joined the Florida Department of Health, Seminole County, and our emergency management team to assist with ongoing vaccination efforts. The county's CARES initiative also funded workforce development programs at Seminole State College. More than $450,000 was allocated towards certificate courses in select business areas to enhance students' immediate training opportunities that may result in faster reemployment. As a Seminole State College trustee, I am proud that the college received the national recognition from the American Association of Community Colleges for excellence in advancing diversity. Our Information Services Technology program was one of only 8 across the country to win the Excellence in Equity STEM Award by the Aspen Institute College Program and the Siemens Foundation. The Rosenwald School served generations of students and their families. Seminole County is proud to carry on this great history, not only here in Wynwood, East Altamont, but countywide, in tandem with our education partners for generations to come.
For the collaboration with the University of Central Florida, Seminole State College, and our school board, we have a great deal to be proud of. For your courage and grit over the last year, through virtual schooling and plexiglass barriers, thank you, Seminole County School Board members Karen Allman, Tina Calderon, Christine Krause, Amy Pennick, who, by the way, it's her birthday, and Abby Sanchez. Please pass on our gratitude to your teachers and staff, and please stand to be recognized. After nearly 9 years as our superintendent, Dr. Walt Griffin will be announcing schools out for the last time this year. Dr. Griffin, you are the epitome of a servant leader. You have raised the standards for our students and provided a lasting legacy of excellence. Thank you for your commitment to public education and children of Seminole County. Please stand and be recognized. Although considerable county resources were redirected to the pandemic response last year, our team remains committed to our long-range vision and challenges that confront us. We continue to advance major projects and address opportunities to enhance our community and protect our environment, such as Phase 1 of the county's 5-point master plan development, which includes the relocation of the civil courthouse from downtown Sanford, as well as the construction of a new central energy plant and parking garage, will be completed by spring of 2023. This summer, Phase 2 begins, which will include the design renovation of the Criminal Justice Center. During the 2020 election cycle, we heard you. It's time to review and update our land development code with an emphasis on your quality of life. In January 2020, the county kicked off a land development code revisioning process to better align our code with the county's comprehensive plan and modernize certain chapters. So far, 4 board work sessions and several community meetings have occurred. This effort to better plan for our county's growth and future in the future is anticipated to be completed later this year. Our well-being and economic vitality also hinges on the critical component of water. Very few of us recognize the incredible effort required to provide clean drinking water to all. We have become accustomed to turning on the tap and voila, there it is. District 1 Commissioner Bob Delory will tell us more about the county's water quality and quantity.
Hey, you're wasting water. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Hey! Was I really wasting water?
I kind of think you were. In fact, sometimes it's hard to figure that out. We all do it. In fact, we need to protect our water, our natural waters. That's one of the things that makes Seminole County so unique and so special. Just like this river right behind me. In fact, last year, in 2020, we processed for drinking over 5.7 billion gallons of water. Let me show you what 1 gallon is. This represents 1 gallon of water.
It's heavy.
Yes, it is.
If water's so important to us, how should we protect it?
There's a lot of different ways. But the best thing we should do right now, let's talk about it.
So where does our drinking water come from?
Great question. It comes from the ground. We get our drinking water from the Florida aquifer. It flows from the Wekiva Springs and into this river here, the Wekiva River. It's our source, our major source of drinking water.
Okay, so is there a water problem?
It's a great question, and yes, there is a problem. We need to make sure that our future demands are being met and that we're protecting the groundwater, the aquifer, for future generations.
What are we going to do about it?
Seminole County is committed to remaining Florida's natural choice, making sure our water supply is not only protected but safe for future generations.
It's cool.
Now that I just showed you what's happening on the river, you can see why this is such an important river that we need to protect. Right, girls? What'd you do that for?
Because you love water.
Bob will tell you there was only one take of that. As we heard from Commissioner Delory, Seminole County is blessed to have an abundance of water resources. Continuing to protect these natural treasures remains a top priority. Watershed Management is working with the St. Johns River Water Management District and State Senator Jason Broder on a large-scale Lake Jessup restoration project. We are also partnering with multiple local and state agencies to restore the proper flow of the Little Wekiva River. This is in addition to what we have already done to protect our most valuable water resource, the Wekiva River and its spring shed. As we continue to enhance our water quality, we have implemented a number of programs. One is our fertilizer ordinance, the most protective in the state. By decreasing the amount of undesirable nutrients and phosphates dumping into our water bodies through runoff, we can protect our river streams much better. We also have proposed a shoreline protection ordinance creating responsible shoreline vegetation management program to revitalize water resources for generations to come. And as part of our commitment to sustainability, the board has directed staff to pursue a proposal for development of an energy efficient and sustainability master plan. This will provide recommendations on how to best implement a holistic energy efficiency plan for both existing and future county facilities. Now, we all know transportation improvements are vitally important to our economy. Your voter-approved 1-cent infrastructure sales tax allows the county to provide $56.7 million of projects last year. That's $24 million more on infrastructure projects than during the previous fiscal year, during COVID. Last year's penny tax projects include 96 miles of roadway resurfacing, completion of 66 construction projects, 24 bridge projects were completed, and the lining of 5,867 countywide stormwater pipes. We must also add, thankfully, that the Wekiva Parkway, the I-4 Ultimate, and the 1792 project are all scheduled to be completed in 2022. Obviously, this will enhance tremendously our regional transportation system. One of the greatest regional challenges we have is workforce housing. To address attainable housing limitations in our community, Seminole County participated in a regional affordable housing initiative with Orange, Osceola counties, and the city of Orlando. Following a series of work sessions, your Board of County Commissioners has actively embarked on a development of an attainable housing strategic plan to act as an incubator of innovative ideas. Some include development of a community land trust ordinance and an affordable housing trust fund, authorization of accessory dwelling units in all single-family residential zoning districts, establishment of a land bank program and extension of the affordability period of workforce housing, and the implementation of a fund through the rental registry program to transfer those dollars to help affordable housing. It is our hope that the county can create, diversify, and retain affordable housing so that homeownership is possible for all current and future Seminole County residents. As COVID continues to test us, I would like to thank our county manager, Nicole Guillet, her leadership team, and the 1,300 county employees who have enabled us to overcome all of these historical obstacles. From wastewater treatment plant operators to road crews, from librarians to maintenance workers, we are reminded of the critical role government employees play in our everyday life.
Fire rescue, how may I help you?
I'm giving you an extra one. Okay.
Rescue 11. We just had a COVID call.
Before I end today, I just wanted to thank, it's not part of the script, I just wanted to thank very much Tricia Johnson and her folks who did an incredible job, SGTV, all of them. I really was very, very proud of what they've done. And I also want to thank, for helping me get through this, my staff who is back at the offices, Beatrice and Sarah. Thank you very much. I know you're watching, so I appreciate it. And I want to thank you all for joining us today. You can learn more about your county and what it's up to in the County Manager Report, which is on your table. And it can also be viewed on the county website. Stay safe, and may God bless this great place we call home, Seminole County. Thank you.